Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Weekly Wildlife Wisdom. As so far, I've been your host, Zero Yeti. Let's go into it with the first animal of the week being the maned wolf, also known as the golden dog, the skunk wolf, or the deer fox. It is a species of large canine in the genus Cryocyon that is native to the South American countries of Argentina, Brazil, Bolivia, Peru, Paraguay, Uruguay. Here it inhabits woodlands, scrublands, grasslands, particularly Cerrado. It is a solitary, crepuscular, and omnivorous animal which specializes in hunting small game, such as ground birds, insects, fish, rodents, rabbits, armadillos, and other small mammals. Roughly half of the maned wolf's diet is comprised of vegetation, and as such, the animal plays an important role in the seed dispersal of many plants, such as sugarcane, tubers, fruit, and especially the wolf apple. Maned wolves are themselves preyed upon by cougars and jaguars, reaching upwards of 4.5 feet in length and 3 feet tall at the shoulder and 50 pounds in weight. The maned wolf is the tallest of all wild canines. This is largely thanks to its long legs, which are an adaptation to the tall grasslands of its native habitat. The fur of the maned wolf may be reddish brown to golden orange on the sides with long black legs, distinctive black mane. The coat is marked further with a whitish tuft on the tip of the tail and a white bib beneath the throat. The mane is erectile and typically used to enlarge the wolf's profile when it's threatened or it's displaying aggression. Both melanistic and albino maned wolves do exist, but they are rare. The mating season ranges from November to April, and after a 60 to 65 day pregnancy, the mother gives birth to between 2 and 6 black-furred pups, each weighing around 16 ounces in weight. The pups grow rapidly and are raised by both parents until they reach physical and sexual maturity at little over 1 year of age, at which point they set out on their own. Under ideal conditions, a maned wolf may live upwards of 20 years. Next up, we have the Indian flying lizard, also known as the Indian gliding dragon, the western gnat's flying lizard, or the southern flying lizard. It is a species of agamid lizard in the flying lizard genus Draco, which is so named for their ability to glide distances of up to 200 feet. They are native to both the western and eastern Ghats mountain ranges within India, where they primarily inhabit mountain cloud forests and palm plantations. They are an arboreal and diurnal species which spends their nights sleeping upon flat surfaces and their days darting around the forest canopy as they hunt for insects. Indian gliding dragons are themselves preyed upon by lion-tailed macaques, arboreal snakes, and various species of birds, particularly the Indian golden oriole and the black-capped kingfisher. Reaching 7 to 9 inches in length, the Indian gliding dragons have round heads which sport a short snout and horn-like tubercles above the eyes. While both sexes have yellow dewlaps on the throat, these are significantly longer in males. The lizards are able to glide by extending their pterygia, or pseudo-wings. These flaps of skin on the sides of the body are supported by 6 elongated ribs with special musculature that allows them to be extended outwards. In addition to this, the sides of the neck are also stretched out to form a pair of smaller wing-like flaps around the head. Using these flaps and their tails in conjunction allow the lizards to be able to turn while gliding. They are capable of changing their coloration through various shades of brown and gray in order to camouflage into their environment. The exception to this is on their wings, which are yellow and purple on the undersides. During the breeding season, which lasts from February to April, males maintain small territories, which they defend from other males while courting females. After mating, females will descend to the forest floor where they lay 1 to 4 eggs, which she then buries into the soil. Said eggs hatch after around a 50-day incubation period. Under ideal conditions, an Indian gliding dragon may live up to 8 years. Next up is the mola mola, also known as the ocean sunfish or the common mola. It is a species of large sunfish that is native throughout the tropical and temperate oceans worldwide. Contrary to the perception that the sunfish spends much of their time basking at the surface, mola molas actually spend the larger portion of their lives living alone or in pairs, hunting prey such as small fish, squid, sea jellies, salps, and crustaceans at depths of greater than 660 feet, occupying both the epipelagic and mesopelagic zones. Mola moles are also known to occasionally feed upon eelgrass, and other marine plants, and they are capable of moving rapidly when feeding or avoiding predators to the extent that they can leap vertically out of the water. Reaching up to 13 feet in length and 5,000 pounds in weight, the mola mola is considered to be the largest extant bony fish. The body is flattened laterally, giving it a long oval shape, and the pectoral fins are small and fan-shaped, while the dorsal fin and anal fin are lengthened, often making the fish as tall as it is long. The teeth are fused to a beak-like structure, and these fish sport a brown to silvery gray or white coloration that is often darker on the dorsal surface, fading to a lighter shade ventrally as a form of countershading camouflage. They also have the ability to vary skin coloration from light to dark, especially when under attack. The skin is covered by denticles and a layer of mucus instead of scales, and like their relatives the pufferfish, the internal organs of the sunfish contain tetrodotoxin, which deters many creatures from eating it. Despite this, sea lions, sharks, and orcas are known to occasionally prey upon the mola mola. Mating practices of the ocean sunfish are poorly understood, but females are known to spawn up to 300 million eggs at a time, more than any other vertebrate. Sunfish fry resemble miniature pufferfish and school for protection, however they change in both appearance and behavior as they grow. Under ideal conditions, a mola mola may live upwards of 10 years. Next up is the Tanzanian giant tailless whip scorpion, also known as the Tanzanian giant whip spider, the giant tailless whip scorpion, or the giant amblypygid amblypygid is a species of tailless whip scorpion in the genus Damon in the family Phyrenicinae, which is native to the African countries of Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia, and Tanzania. Here it inhabits caves, caverns, and both tropical and temperate dry forest. A nocturnal species, the Tanzanian tailless whip scorpion spends its days hiding under leaves, rocks, and fallen logs, or within cracks, crevices, and dead trees, emerging at night to hunt prey such as worms, crustaceans, insects, and other arachnids. Reaching up to 2 inches in body length with an up to 8-inch leg span, the Tanzanian giant whip scorpion's body is flat and spider-like with up to 6 segmented walking legs, 2 long front legs, and no tail. Coloring varies from molten brown to black to bluish green or cream. Males and females can be distinguished by the relative length of their pedipalps, which are longer in males with the elbow extending past the knee of the first pair of walking legs, while these are shorter in females and do not reach the knee. The name whip scorpion refers to the whip-like movement they make with their front legs. They have relatively poor eyesight and use their long front legs to help sense vibrations. This assists with them helping to locate prey and avoid obstacles. Breeding may occur year-round, during which time 2 whip scorpions will court one another by vibrating their long front legs against each other's. After mating, the female will deposit 6 to 60 eggs into a membranous sac located underneath her abdomen, where they remain until they hatch. After hatching, the young will remain by their mother's side until they undergo their second molt. Under ideal conditions, the Tanzanian giant tailless whip scorpion will reach sexual maturity around 12 to 15 months of age and may live up to 10 years. Next up is the Malayan Taper, also known as the Asian Taper, or the Asiatic Taper, or the Indian Taper. It is a species of large tapir native to the southeastern Asia, throughout parts of Indonesia, peninsular Malaysia, Sumatra, Myanmar, and Thailand. It is the only tapir species not native to the Americas. Here they are generally solitary and crepuscular animals, which inhabit tropical lowland forests and mangrove swamps, where they prefer to live near water in which they bathe and swim. They primarily feed upon leaves, shoots, fruit, and bark, and are themselves preyed upon by tigers, leopards, and dholes. Standing 3 to 3.5 feet tall at the shoulder and measuring around 6 to 8 feet in length and 550 to 800 pounds in weight, the Malayan Taper is the largest extant tapir species and is easily identified by its markings, most notably its light-colored patch that extends from its shoulders to its hindquarters. The rest of the body is covered in black hair, with the exception of the tips of the ears, which, as with other tapirs, are rimmed with white. Like other tapir species, it has a small stubby tail and a long flexible proboscis. It has 4 toes on each front foot and 3 toes on each back foot. Malayan Taper has rather poor eyesight, but excellent hearing and a sense of smell. Malayan Tapers communicate with high-pitched squeaks and whistles, and breeding typically occurs in April, May, or June, with females generally producing one calf every 2 years. After a 390 to 395 day pregnancy, males typically give birth to a single calf, which sports a coat of brown hair and white stripes and spots, a pattern that enables them to hide effectively in the dappled light of the forest. This baby coat fades into adult coloration between 4 and 7 months after birth, and weaning occurs around 6 to 8 months of age, at which time the babies are nearly fully grown. Under ideal conditions, a Malayan tapir will reach sexual maturity around 3 years of age and may live upwards of 30 years. Next up, we have the Great Plateau, which is a species of large nocturnal bird which is native to the Americas from southern Mexico and northeastern Guatemala in the north, throughout most of Central America and down through South America as far south as southeastern Brazil and Bolivia. Here they inhabit dense lowland forests, open woodlands, meadows, and cloud forests up to 5,000 feet in elevation. Generally shy and solitary creatures, great potos spend their days perched upright in trees, stumps, or on wooden posts, using their impressive camouflage to blend near seamlessly into their surroundings, becoming alert at night to ambush prey such as large beetles, katydids, crickets, grasshoppers, even small bats and songbirds. Great patus are themselves preyed upon by mantled howlers, Geoffroy spider monkeys, white-headed capuchins, Tailless, and collared forest falcons. Reaching 19 to 24 inches in length, 13 to 23 ounces in weight, and sporting a 27 to 32 inch wingspan, the Great Plateau, or Great Potu, is the largest species of Potu, and it sports a large head in relation to its body with very large brown and yellow eyes. It has a short but broad beak, and their wings are elliptical in shape and the tail is elongated. The feather colors vary with white, gray, and black and burgundy. The tail colors match with that of the rest of their body, with the exception of the white bars that can be seen going across the tail laterally. Breeding occurs from February to August. After mating, the mother will create a nest by scratching a divot or depression into a thick tree branch, upwards of 30 feet above the forest floor. Here she deposits a single spotted white egg, which she will incubate for around 4 weeks. The young remain with their mother until fledgling at around 2 months of age, and under ideal conditions, a great potu may live up to 14 years. And our extinct animal week is Tanystropheus, which is an extinct genus of large archosauromorph reptile which lived throughout Eurasia from the Olechian to the Carnian stages of the Triassic period, some 251 to 227 million years ago. The first remains of Tanystropheus, consisting of a fragmentary skeleton, were unearthed in the mid-1800s from Monte San Gorgio on the Italy-Switzerland border. In 1886, Francesco Bassini interpreted this unusual fossil as a pterosaur, which he named Triplocelidon longobardicus, and it would take more than 40 years for this misconception to be resolved. Meanwhile, several vertebrae were recovered from the upper Moschkalak of Germany and the lower Kupur of Poland, where they were initially given the name Macroscolosaurus by Count George Zoo Munster, before being renamed and described as Tanystropheus conspicus in 1855 by Hermann von Meyer. In the 1900s, Frederick von Hue unearthed and described several fairly complete Tanystropheus specimens, finally painting a much more complete and accurate picture of this peculiar animal. Reaching up to 20 feet in length, Tanystropheus was certainly an oddball, with its giant robust neck alone comprising over half its body length. In contrast, the body is surprisingly small, featuring short, skinny forelimbs, but heavily built hind limbs and a strong tail, which are believed to have acted as an anchor or counterbalance to the head and neck. The skull is roughly triangular in shape, with large eyes and jaws lined with conical interlocking teeth at the front and triple cusped teeth in the back. In life, Tanystropheus was inhabited coastal and freshwater habitats, where it spent a considerable time both in water and on land. It is believed that Tanystropheus was the Triassic equivalent of a heron, wading with its body on shore or in shallow waters with its neck suspended far above the surface, where it watched and waited for fish, small amphibians, or invertebrates to swim by before quickly striking and catching said prey with remarkable precision. As always, take care to my guys, gals, and non binary pals. Have a great day.